The only way to make money from your products is by selling them at the right price. If you undersell them, you're not going to make any money. If you sell them at a price where you only just break even, well, you're really busy, but again, you're not making any money. You've got nothing to put in your pockets, which is why I'm here to talk you through using the profitable product pricing calculator. I have to say that very carefully and deliberately, because otherwise it's a little bit of a jumbled mouthful. Let's jump straight in. So this is the profitable product pricing calculator, but I don't think about it. I can say it faster. So it's currently free from our handcrafted business. A friend and my accountant told me that she's seen other pricing calculators being sold for £100, and you don't get as much value from it as you do this. It's well worth grabbing as long as you're going to use it. That's the caveat. Okay, so what is it? What do you get? As you can see, you get 5 different spreadsheets here to work through. Let's click through and go through them all. So this one is the hourly rate and income guide calculator. When you make your own products, you only get paid for your making time. So that's where you can get your hourly rate from. This is the money that actually is going to go into your pocket. So this is the hourly rate and income guide calculator. So you pop in the number of making hours you're going to have each month, whatever that might be, and then you pop in your hourly rate. So let's go a little bit low to start with and put £20 in there. By the way, if you want to grab this calculator, it's available in both pounds and in dollars. You get that option after you've gone through the download process, or you've gone through the opt-in process. You get that option when you come to download. Okay, so I've put in £20 as the number of making hours each month. That's your target hours that you're working towards, the hourly rate. And you can see that actually that means you're just going to earn £400 a month, and in a year that's £4,800. Now, maybe that's enough and that's what you're after, or maybe you're going, oh my word, I need to earn more than that. The only thing you can do is you can increase your hourly number of hours you're working each month, and you can increase your hourly rate. So you can see it starts to make quite a difference as you play with these numbers. This can be an eye-opening task for some people, so it's well worth looking at and experimenting with. Next, we have the simple handmade product pricing calculator. Why is it simple? Because I'm not getting you to work out all of your costs, expenses individually. We are using percentages, and you can edit these percentages here. But let's start first with the product cost. What is product cost? Product cost is the amount it costs you to make the product that you are going to be selling. It's the direct costs. It's the supplies, it's the materials, it's the actual things that you physically need that are part of the product that you are going to be selling. So as it says here, it's the total amount it costs you to create and sell your product, including all materials and supplies. If you sell through a marketplace, you can include the fees in your costings too. You don't have to, you can include that as expense. It's up to you how you work your numbers. If you don't charge enough P&P to cover your packaging costs, you can include this here too. If not, these costs will need to be included as part of your business expenses. Direct costs are those directly attributable to the product. Then we have your earnings, which is the number we're working out in the hourly rate guide. If your product takes you an hour to make and you've got your hourly rate at £40, you're going to charge the full amount. If it takes you half an hour to make, you're going to do just 30 minutes of that, so half of that, which is 20. If it takes you a quarter, if it takes you an eighth, if it takes you 3 hours or 5 hours, you're going to multiply your hourly rate by that time. Then we have these expenses. So what are business expenses? They're everything else that is not in your direct product costs. It's your broadband, it's your insurance, it's your electric, it's your heating, it's everything and anything that is there within your business. That's where you're going to include it. So for the sake of ease here, it's about using a percentage. So what percentage of that final price do you think this is going to be? So in this instance, it's 15%, which means every product you sell is going to contribute £4.50 to your overall business expenses. In this, we also have a contingency budget. What's a contingency budget? Well, for one, it's the replacement of any equipment, computers and software, but it covers any returns, it covers any faults. It covers just a whole multitude of things, whatever you need it to be, because if you don't have it, it's going to come out of your pocket. Then we have the marketing budget. So this covers any giveaways, it covers your adverts, it covers if you're buying business cards or you're having leaflets printed. There's so many different things here that this covers. And again, this is a contribution towards that overall budget. So for every product you sell, in this particular example, it would contribute £3 back into the marketing budget. There's a research and development budget. Now, if you're one of those people who everything you make goes to be sold and you never have anything that you just go, no, that's not good enough, and you have to throw it away, then you don't need this. But if you experiment, if you test things out and you have products that come out at the end of this that just are not fit for selling, then you need to have some kind of budget here. I should add, I don't think I've said it so far, you can edit any of these numbers that are in the light yellow boxes. So you might go, well, yeah, I won't have it. I'm only going to have it at 5% just because it's there as a token. And contingency budget, oh, I need that quite high because my returns are quite high, so I'm going to make that a 20%. You can mess with any of these numbers. We also have your profit margin. You need to have a profit because profit is how you are going to grow and invest your business in the future. It could be that you're not just replacing some equipment, but you're upgrading your equipment. So you need the money from your profit to be able to invest in that. Maybe it's you're investing in training. Maybe you're going to outsource your marketing, but that profit margin is what's going to enable you to do that, because you do not want to be spending it out of your own pocket. You're earning £20 of this product. That's your personal takeaway. That's your drawings. That's your income. It's your equivalent of your salary. So then we have a subtotal adding all of this up. Then we have another option at the bottom, which is the markup. If you're selling wholesale, if you're selling this on through somebody else, then you need to give them the opportunity for a markup. It can be as much as 50%. Or if you're selling direct to consumer yourself, and you've got your VAT registered, or you've got other taxes that we haven't factored into here, then you can use this to represent even that your VAT or your tax. Or you can even go, do you know what? I like to offer a 20% discount to my customers whenever I can. I have a special offer. We still need to factor that in. It means that this becomes your final selling price. Yes, it means that there's an extra 20% that it really is going to become in that profit margin when you haven't got the discount on, but you can't afford to discount your products otherwise, because otherwise the only thing you're doing is taking it out of your own pocket. So this is well worth experimenting and playing with. We then have a batch version. It's basically exactly the same calculator. So the expenses and the budgets all work in exactly the same way. The difference here is you're saying how much it costs you to make a batch. So if you make 10 products at a time, 20, 30, 50, 100, heck, even 1,000 at a time, then you are going to be saying, this is how much it costs me to make this amount of products. You put the number of products in there. Let's say it's 50. We're going to put your earnings in there, because if you can make 50 products in an hour and it costs you 30 quid, you still only need £40 for that hour's worth of work in your pocket. It brings your overall cost down. We then go through all of this process again. We add on your markup, and it gives you a batch total. So the batch total, if you were to sell the whole batch, would be 157 in this instance. I'm sure you actually need to tweak the numbers on this, but it means each individual product has a £3.15 cost that you're passing on and you're charging, and that will cover your business expenses, putting in this amount, marketing budget, all of this all get topped up. You've got your markup and you're still £3.15. You are going to earn £40 for that hour's worth of work. So again, that's another nice one. Some people will only use one of these calculators. Some people will use a mix of both. Make the decision which one is suitable for you. We then have the revenue forecast calculator. So this is you looking ahead. What do you expect to sell? Or if it's not what you expect to sell, maybe you haven't got that experience behind you yet. Maybe your marketing isn't quite dialed in. Maybe this is looking at it from the point of view of the maximum number that you can sell in 1 month. So maybe you're physically able to make 100 products in a month, and that's it, no more. You know that's your top end limit. Great. So once you've worked out your product selling price, you pop this in here. it will tell you what your monthly revenue is and your annual revenue is. Remember, this is based on the selling price. It's not based on your take home. Out of these numbers, you're paying your expenses, you're covering all your costs, anything and everything is coming out of this. Only a small percentage of that will be left for you. But it gives you a clue as to your running revenue for the year. Last but not least, we have the expenses calculator. Oh, let me just move where I am. There we go. That should be a little bit better. Okay, so for the business expenses calculator, this is pretty in depth. It covers pretty much everything that you can be looking at. And if you think there's something missing, you've got a little space to add them in as well. So you're going to basically go broadband, what does that cost you over the year? Notice this is annual expenses. We're then going to add any stationery costs in, any phone costs in, any postage or printer or software. You get the idea. So you've got travel costs, you've got any premises costs. In the UK, if you are using your home as an office, then there is a small amount that you're allowed to put in there every month to cover your expenses and your overheads. So unless you're running a kiln or you're running something that really takes a lot more than average, that's a really nice number to use because you know it's never going to get picked up or queried. If you need any protected clothing, uniform, maybe for events, you can pop that cost in here. Any staff, if you don't have any staff, ignore that section. Then you've got any legal fees, so accountancy fees, legal fees, insurance, bank charges, interest on bank loans, hire purchase and lease, these can all go in here. Legal fees, if you've purchased a trademark, then you can pop that in there as well. Marketing costs, anything that you've got here. And then, of course, right at the bottom, you've got training and anything else that just doesn't fit in anywhere. Training, if you remember of Handcrafted Business Club, as it was called, now it's called the Make More Club, then you can include that as well. That is a complete tax deductible. It is a legitimate expense that you need to cover. Now, the interesting part here is that once you've filled all of this in, I give you 3 different ways that you can cover your expenses. First of all, at the top, it adds it up so you can see exactly how much your annual expenses are coming out at. So based on your number of planned annual making hours, you're going to have to pop that number in. You can see it's going to start doing some calculations for you. And you also put the price of your best selling product minus direct costs. So take your direct costs out because they are already allocated. We know they're already going. So if your best selling product cost is going to, it sells for, let's say £50, but your direct costs are £10. It costs you £10 to make that product. You're going to put £40 in there. And then it's going to tell you 3 different ways that you could cover your expenses. So you can cover your expenses by dividing by your making hours. So 480 annual hours divided by 1,490 in this case is £3.10. So it means for every working hour, every making hour, assuming you meet your target of 480, you are charging £3.10 for your customer. Break even point, you need to sell 37 of these products to break even. That's another way to work it out. You go, right, once I've sold 37, I haven't put any money in my pocket. I know all of my expenses are covered. That means that anything over and above your direct costs is going in your pocket, so you know exactly where you're at. Or another way is knowing your annual expenses by month, knowing that every single month you know that £124.17 in this example would cover your expenses throughout the year. So it gives you a target to work towards. So it's a nice little form here. It's a really nice example that you can start to see exactly what's happening with the money that you're bringing into your business. You can start to see exactly what it is that you need to be charging. Okay, so I hope that helps. It's a really handy sheet. You can use the expenses, you can use the hourly rate, you can use the revenue forecast, you can use the calculators. Each one works really well on their own, but put them all together and it's going to explode your business because financially you will be on top of it. You will know exactly what's happening with your numbers. And that's what it's all about. And if you need more help, if you want to dig in further, then actually members of the Make More Club, as it's now called, formerly the Handcrafted Business Club, then they get an even more in-depth calculator as well that really helps them, that pulls everything together. So you're more than welcome to come along and join us. I'll make sure there's a link for that below as well. But otherwise, go grab your free calculator if you haven't already got it. It's really going to help you with your business, because after all, we're in business to make money. So that's what you should be doing. The calculator helps you do that. Bye for now.